Alright, guess what I just got? Yep, an underdrive pulley for my 2006 Accord Coupe V6. Okay, this is a lightweight. It has a couple names. You can call it an underdrive pulley, you can call it a lightweight crank pulley, or you can call it a harmonic balancer. Either way, this is essentially what is attached to the shaft that comes out of your engine. So all the up and down of the pistons, and, well, if you have a rotary like a Mazda, all the spinning of those, what do you call them? What are they? Rotors. Yeah, there we go. So, anyways, so whether you're using rotors or you're using pistons, the point is all that going up and down or spinning around in the case of the rotor, that's all to essentially get a shaft that comes out of the engine to spin. And you can see this has a little hole here. So there's basically this thing of a rod, and then it has a little thing to hold it in spot there, and the engine turns this guy. And this guy, which is connected through belts to all the other things in your car, you know, you name it, basically. If it runs off your engine, it's going to be connected to this through a belt that sweeps all over like a big snake. So anyways, so we can see, and now you say, okay, that's great, yeah, it's okay, it's shiny, but what else, why is it such a great thing? Well, because this is made out of a lighter material, and as you can also see, it's also, what do you call this, ported, so it takes up even less weight. So it's lighter material, and there's less material, all equaling way lighter than the stock one. And what that does for us is it essentially allows the engine to spin this, which, keep in mind, pretty much powers everything in your car, but it causes this here to spin with less effort. So you get the same amount of revolutions, but it takes a lot less effort for the engine to do that. So, explain that, but you get the idea. So, now, diameter. There's a big debate of, should you get underdrive? And anytime you see someone with anytime you see a pulley like this, automatically you say, oh, underdrive. But technically, it doesn't always have to be underdrive. It can just be a lightened, but the same diameter. So it won't really be underdrive because it's the same diameter. It's just lightened. So that's why I like to call them harmonic balancers as opposed to just automatically saying underdrive pulley. Now, I think this one is the same diameter as my stock, and that's good because if I want to add a supercharger later, as soon as I like rob a bank or something, then I can do it and there won't be any problems because of the different diameters and all that stuff. Okay, so there you go, and get a relative size comparison. Here's a regular CDR type thing, so you can see. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna weigh this now. So give me a second to get a scale. Alright, so I got my little hanging scale here, and let's get this guy going. Okay, we got to recalibrate. Okay, all zeros. Another good thing about these ports is it gives you somewhere to put this hook. Okay. There we go. As you can see, it's 0.90, and the units, if it comes up on this car, oh, there we go, great. Okay, so we have 0.9 pounds, so not even a pound. Alright, and just to show you that I am actually holding it up, so, okay, now we're going back to 0.90 again, and yes, it's hanging, see, not touching. So, alright, now I'll compare that to the stock one, once I get it out of my car, and we'll then see the huge weight savings. Alright, now that I have the crank pulley, the OEM, or the original equipment pulley out of my Accord, you can see by comparison to our CD again, that it is in fact quite a bit bigger than our lightweight crank pulley, and hence the lightweight crank pulley is also an underdrive pulley. So, as far as the weight goes, I can already tell you without even weighing this thing that it's way heavier, but let's continue to be scientific about it. So I got all zeros there. I gotta hook this thing. Hold on a second. I was actually worried that this thing might break my scale, so damn heavy. Alright. And here we go. Can you see that? Wait until the blue fades away and you'll be able to see it better. It's 7.89. Come on, light go off. Okay, there you go. You can see it. 7.87. So, if we do the simple math there, the other one was 0.9, and this is 7.87. So let's just say that that's also 87. Let's just round up to 0.9. So then this is basically, this here is 7 pounds heavier. That's quite a bit. So, all right. So I'm in the car now, and I haven't put in the UnderDrive pulley yet. So I thought I should get a control and see how the car acts before I put it in, so we have something to compare to. Now, I thought, how am I going to do this? You know, because initially I was just going to rev the car and watch the RPMs increase. But then I thought, how am I going to keep it consistent? For example, I could, with the stock pulley in, I could hit the gas a little harder, and then the revs will go up faster than when I have the UnderDrive in, which obviously doesn't make sense. So since I can't control how hard I push the pedal any 2 times to make it consistent, I figured was one thing I can control, just straight up releasing the pedal. And that way we'll see how long it takes for the crank to spool down. And then we're going to extrapolate from that. If it slows down faster, it would also pick up faster. So I hope that made sense. And let's go do this little experiment here. If I can get the camera in there. Okay. Everyone see? Okay. Alright, here we go. I'm going to bring it up to 4. And release. All nice and controlled. Bringing it up to 4 again. And release. Okay, so that's that. And then quick mile check. If you see there, I'm at 4,800 basically, so 4,805. And we'll see how long it takes the ECU to catch on that it has a new lightweight. And we'll see how long it takes to calibrate. The instructions said it would take about like a work week, so like 5 to 7 days. So we'll see. I think I'm going to spend some drive time with it, try to get the ECU smarter quicker. And just for all the science people out there, I want to make sure I had all the variables down. I don't have the radio on. I don't have the AC on, even though I'm sweating. And if I get this put in soon enough, the temperature should be the same. Well, relatively. It's Minnesota. What are you going to do, right? Okay, that's it. Alright, so I just had the harmonic balancer put in, the lightweight one, and that's no misnomer. Boy, it is considerably lighter than the factory one. Factory one looks like it's some thing off like an old barge. It's all, you know, nasty and black, and on top of that, it's heavy. So, and it's bigger. So that confirms the thing I just put in my car is not just a lightweight, crank pulley, but rather an UnderDrive. So here we'll do the rev test just because I did this before, so might as well go for it to show the difference. Now, you might not see a huge difference right here. This part is more in my foot. As far as like difference, I'm pushing way lighter than I did before in order to get to 4, and not only that, it's way more sensitive, so I gotta, and release. Okay, see now, looking at that, you'd say, well, what a waste of money, right? I mean, it looks the same as the other one. Well, because you can't feel my foot, you know, how much pressure I'm putting, so just visually, that part is pretty, like, no change. But where the change is, and boy is it ever, is in the driving dynamic. This actually is a spunky little car now. Before it kind of felt like a lumbery, big, powerful, but kind of like a big Ulf, because it was, you'd hit the gas, there'd be like a pause, almost like the car's thinking, and then it would go. Now, as soon as I hit the gas, just even tap it, I basically start to go. And I'll go ahead and hang this off the wall, the thing, so you can see it down here. Okay, now I'm just going to tap it. Now I heard, no, you heard that.